Someone
Good
join?
afternoon. Yeah, this is Ken Riggs from Assurance that just joined.
Hey, Ken, it's Scott
Scott?
Ryan. Good
Hey,
afternoon.
Scott. Hi.
We have Jessica Hills and Yana from your team. And then we also have
Perfect.
our enrollment team is on the line here as well.
Excellent. Good afternoon,
Hey
everyone.
there. Hello.
Afternoon.
Okay, so everyone's able to see the screen here. I have the benefits summary pulled up. So the way we're going to do this, pretty much how we always do it, is we're going to go through the benefits in the guide here. We'll look at a little bit more detail of the worksite benefits, and then we'll go into the system. Now, the setup for this one, this is a call center case, and you guys are all familiar with how that works in various states, and there are several appointments made already. I think there's 180 employees, something like that, and there's about 120 something appointments made already, so that's good progress. This is actually, for the core benefits, it's actually a self-service enrollment on a platform they already are accustomed to. You're not, as enrollers, you're not utilizing that system at all. But we're still going to go over the core benefits because we've been asked to at least answer questions if they come up from the employees on the core. The only thing we're responsible as far as enrolling is the worksite products. So that's what's in the system. In the training invite, I also included the schedule. Let's take a look at that real quick. And I'll identify who's who here, but you can see the hours here. These are all local time hours, so we'll manage that from the East Coast here. Let's see, did someone join? Okay, maybe not.
Hi. Caprice is here.
Hi, Caprice. Okay, so this is the schedule, and then we'll identify who's who on here for you later, but it's all call center. So the benefit summary, I included the schedule, the benefit summary, and then the overview, the more in-depth overview proposal kind of verbiage for the work site. So we'll go over that now. Now, this is a 20-page document. Most of it is benefits related, as far as employee benefits are concerned. Some of them are more like communication items, but it's all good information for you to have. Blue Cross and Blue Shield. What's a PPO? What's an high deductible? What's an HSA? Let's see. Insurance preparing. Tax-free basis. Okay, for new HSA enrollees, employee-only coverage receive $500. Any dependents receive $5,000. So that's an HSA employer contribution.
Hey, Ken, do you know when those are deposited, just in case the employee asks?
So the HSA contributions are deposited right at the beginning of the year, but the caveat here that I really want to stress is it's only for new HSA enrollees. So anyone who's currently in the HSA in the 2018 plan year will not be receiving that seed in 2019. I just want to make sure that everyone on the line is aware of that. So it's only for someone that would be switching over from the PPO or just coming on to the HSA plan, having waived coverage previously for the first time, effective January 1st, 2019.
Okay, that is good to know.
And it's not guaranteed so they won't receive that next year. It's just that one time only.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So a couple of plans here, PPO and the high deductible plan. Of course, you're eligible for the HSA if you choose the high deductible plan only. And let's take a look here. So the PPO has a $1,000 deductible for the employee and $2,700 on the high deductible plan. 80% co-insurance and network for both. Out-of-pocket maxes, you can see here. Physician services, well child, well adults visits covered at 100%. And then your copays for the primary and specialist, both $35. Okay. And then, of course, on the high deductible plan, you have to meet your deductible first, unless it's preventive. You have to meet your deductible first, and then you have co-insurance. And that's going to be the same down the line. On the PPO plan, you have to meet your deductible, then 80% co-insurance on the emergency room, inpatient. Prescriptions, 10, 40, 60, so generics, formulary brand name drugs, and non-formulary brand name drugs. And then mail order, you get a 90-day supply, you get a little bit of a break on mail orders. The up to 200 and up to 400 here, what does that mean? Like I wouldn't pay any more out of my pocket above 200, or is that what it means?
That's correct, yeah. That is the cap on the co-insurance, so they'd be paying 60% of the cost up to the $200 limit.
Okay.
For 400.
Okay. Got it. Okay, more information on the high deductible and the HSA. You guys are all familiar with this, but it's there for the employees' knowledge at least. Maximum HSA contributions for 19 are $3,500 for the employee and $7,000 for family, with the catch-up if you're over 55. This is the company contribution for new participants to the HSA. Advantages of having an HSA. We all know that. Let's see. Go to your doctor, present your ID card. Doctor submits, get your discounts, carrier adjusts pricing, EOB. Received an invoice from your doctor. Make sure the EOB and the invoice match. Your doctor directly with pre-tax dollars from your HSA or post-tax from your pocket. But yeah, the HSA is funded, each pay period. Well, except for that match. Or the contribution, not a match. Let's see. Yes, any qualified medical, dental, or vision expenses, including but not limited to. And there's a whole other huge list of this too. Okay, dental. PPO, these are the different categories. Preventive, cleanings twice a year, x-rays once a year, basic services, and major services. No deductible. That's good. That's unusual, but good. Office visit copay, none. That's good too. Preventive services covered at 80%, basic 80, everything's 80. $1,000 annual maximum, no loss of benefit.
Hey Ken, I just wanted to confirm that all lines are a la carte and they can kind of pick and choose. Nothing is tied to each other.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Vision plan, VSP. You have the frequency year, eye exam once a year, $10 copay in network. Lenses once a year, $10 copay. Frames every 2 years. And then contacts every 12 months. There's an allowance. $150 allowance on contacts. It says allowance varies on the frames. It probably depends on what frames you're getting.
For lenses, but yeah, same concept.
And then discounts here. Okay. All right. Medical rates. PPO, high deductible plan, does max contributions for the HSA, and then the employer contribution, vision, dental, no cost for the dental, all tiers. Wow. Additional benefits, so basic life and accidental death and dismemberment. Looks like there's 3 classes of employees, so it depends on which class the employee is in. 50, 25, or 10,000.
Do you think the employees will know what class they're in, or do we need to send definitions over to BenAware?
Jessica, since you're on the line, if you wouldn't mind chiming in to answer that, I mean, do you want us to be able to specifically identify with the employees what class they're enrolled in, or should we just speak to the fact that there is a lump sum basic life benefit available?
They're definitely not going to know what class they're in. They may not
Fair
even
enough.
remember that they've signed up for it at all.
You know, I think personally, I feel like it's of more value if we just go ahead and generalize to employees that, hey, you have a basic life benefit available to you. I feel like that message typically goes over well, and I think that's what we had done, in past years, just with our group open enrollment communications.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if they have more questions, they can come see me or Leanne, depending on their location.
Okay, perfect. Sounds like a plan.
I have a question.
Thanks, Jessica.
The enrollment tool that they're using to enroll with, are they also going through this product, the basic life insurance, and would that identify their benefit amount to them?
Yes, it would. Your phone call may be prior to them going through that portion of it, though.
Okay. But we could
We're
record them
starting
through that.
but we're through the 21st, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Voluntary term life and AD&D, not to exceed 5 times earnings. Spouse is 50% of the employee's elections. $10,000 increments up to $300,000, 150 GI. And you can see the spouse and child benefits. This is an employee paid product. Long-term disability, 90-day waiting period, 60%, up to the normal Social Security normal retirement age. Depending on your class, determines your maximum benefit. And employer paid. Okay, 401k. Is this just informational, or is this something that this is the time when they're making their elections as well?
This would just be informational.
Okay. All right, so limits. Okay, well, it's there for reference. I don't think we have to go into details of 401k though. Same thing with vacation and sick leave and so on. If you get questions outside of what's contained in the document here, for the health insurance plans, I have more detailed information to share with you, so just bring those to me. And if it's anything outside of the benefits questions, just send them to me, and if it's not contained here, we'll go back to assurance. Days. So flexible spending account, healthcare FSA, plan maximum, dependent care FSA for dependent care, $5,000, and then limited purpose. So if they like the HSA, if the high deductible plan with the HSA, technically they can't get the full blown FSA, but they can get a limited purpose FSA. Even if they have the HSA. For dental, and vision. EAP, Employee Assistance Program, 24 hours a day for the services here.
Hey, Scott, if I could actually jump back to the FSA really quickly.
Yes, sure.
I wanted to point something out here, and it's getting kind of technical, but it is important to express as, employees are considering moving over to the HSA plan.
Mm-hmm.
So with the regular healthcare FSA, if they have that in 2018, if they've elected monies, they want to change to the HSA, the high deductible health plan, 1/1/2019, they need to make sure that they spend down their entire healthcare FSA. Because ultimately it has that $500 rollover provision that you can see kind of near the bottom of our screen here.
Yes.
They can't carry any money over into the 2019 plan year from their FSA in order to be eligible not only for the company's contribution into the HSA, but also to contribute themselves.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So including the rollover, so that wouldn't really apply to them. If they're moving from FSA to HSA, the rollover doesn't really apply to them anymore. They have to use it all.
They have to use it all. Otherwise, they're not eligible to contribute to the HSA in 2019.
Sure, that makes sense.
Cool.
Okay. Do they get a card?
For HSA, FSA?
Well, either one.
Well, actually, both get a card. So, yes.
Okay. That comes up. Somebody asked me also, back on the voluntary term life, is there a EOI for late entrant required?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And how does one obtain? Is it on the site, maybe?
My understanding is that the ADP system is set up to prompt employees if it's going over the guarantee issue amount
Right.
for new hires. And of course, just during open enrollment, if you're trying to pick it up and you'd waived it previously, that yes, it would prompt them to download the EOI form that would be out there to download.
Okay, great. ADP, and then some new worksite products with Chubb. The accident plan includes accidental death and dismemberment. This is obviously a voluntary product, so it's employee pays the premium, and I have more details on another flyer here. Critical illness, increments of 5,000 up to 20,000, 50% for spouse, 25% for children. Again, a voluntary product. Short-term disability, we've got a 7-day waiting period, 3-month benefit period, 60% of earnings up to $5,000. Carrier contact information is displayed here. So, if they had a question about a position or something, they could just go straight to the website there and navigate to that.
Hey, Scott, I'm sorry, but I want to jump back really
Yeah.
quick to your question on voluntary life.
Yes.
So what I said before is correct. Employees that previously waived the coverage, they would have to fill out the EOI, and that the system should prompt them to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth reminding employees, if they do have existing voluntary life coverage, that they can actually increase the coverage by 2 increments, not only for themselves as an employee, but also for their spouse too, if they've already elected coverage for their spouse. So it might be worth it to share I sent an email this morning with all of the different carrier benefit summaries. You might want to share the voluntary life one, because on page 1 it lists there for current eligible employees, an employee increment is $10,000, a spouse's increment is $5,000.
Right.
So an employee that has voluntary life coverage, they could increase it $20,000 with no medical questions, no EOI.
Okay, that is good to know.
That's a nice feature in the plan.
And I will share those plan docs with the enrollers.
Perfect.
Okay, short-term carrier info, tips and tricks, and the website, nurse line, just lots of information here. Contact info. Tips on saving money, prescriptions, preventive wellness, exams, trading tasks. Yeah. Here's a tip, guys. Everything is cheaper if it's not in the hospital. That goes across the board.
Yeah.
So if they can find a standard facility for imaging, that's a lot cheaper.
Can I actually request that we actually add just like one small component to our message about the medical program?
Sure.
So on this page that you're on here, virtual visits is listed.
All right, let me go back there.
Oh, you're fine. No worries. So up at the top section, virtual visits is on the left-hand side of the page.
Yes, MD Live.
I think it's worthwhile to just point out to employees that virtual visits is there, that they can use it 24/7, 365. This is part of your Blue Cross coverage. You have access to virtual visits. On the PPO plan, it's just your normal office visit copay. And on the HSA plan, the high deductible plan, it's a $44 charge until you meet your deductible for regular non-emergency visits. Just something that encompasses that, just a reminder that it's out there. I think, that's part of what we wanted to promote, in the message. It's a great, convenient way, and, for HSA folks, it's a way to save money versus going in person to a provider for things like, colds, the flu, sinus infections, non-emergency stuff.
Right. It's a lot more convenient.
Definitely.
Okay, so I think that's this entire guide. And let me click over here to the worksite overview. This is included in the training invite as well. It goes into some more details on the plans. Excuse me. So the accident plan, obviously you guys know this works on a fee schedule. There is the sports package, so if they're injured in a sports-related injury, there's actually a higher benefit amount that they receive. The accident plan, here's some examples here. $1,000 if they're admitted to the hospital, $225 a day for confinement. Obviously, ICU is more. And then you're paid for the treatment, being in the hospital or what have you, and then the actual injury itself, so broken bones and dislocations, etc. And I have a more detailed list I'll send you as well. Disability, same kind of thing, 7-day waiting period. There's not much to say about disability. It helps you with your income if you're not able to work. Up to $5,000 critical illness, $5,000 increments, 50% for spouse, 25% for the children, and then here's the list of covered diseases and the percentage for each. And let's see here, let's toggle over to the system. I just provided you guys logins. So you just go to enrollment and employees. Then we have accident, critical illness, and disability. Remember, we're just enrolling the voluntary piece. We loaded the system. I just have a random employee here I'll go into. It looks like they do have 2 pay periods, bi-weekly, as in 26 pay, and semi-monthly, depending on the person. Now, Chubb is actually in the process of building this, so the disability is not quite finished yet, but they have time. Just hit next. Anything that's a required field, the system will make you capture. There's the dependent screen. Click the plus sign to add dependents if they're covering them. The accident plan, there's only one. We just need to know that they're actively at work 17.5 hours and accept or decline. And then the beneficiary, I don't have any dependents listed, but if I did, they would be here. And then hit the plus sign to add someone else. This is a statement from Chubb. Just hit next. Critical illness, there is a list of conditions here, some additional information on the tabs. Actively at work, and then tobacco use, because that drives the rates, yes or no. If I had dependents listed in the system, then there would be options for that as well. $20,000 is the guarantee issue max, but the system allows you to exceed that with some health questions. Beneficiary, the one I checked before. statement from Chubb. Oh, there's a disability. All right, so $200 up to $5,000 is the max. Of course, it's 60% of your salary. So for whatever this person makes, that is the maximum benefit they can get. It is guarantee issue. Oh, I didn't hit the button there. I wish to apply. Actively at work. In this case, notice the other ones are 17 and a half hours. Disability is 30 hours. All right, that's everything. Confirmation form. So in the elections, everything's post-tax. 24 deductions for this person. I think for everyone, actually. Total cost per pay. And then the password, which is your password to log in the system. Administrative password. Congratulations, shows that you're finished. You scroll down, you see the elections. Hit return pushes you back out to the front, where Stephen is now complete. The site, in the training agenda, I included the link for the site here, and then I just sent you your logins 10 minutes ago or so. Of course, I'm always available. You guys have my cell phone number if you need me for anything or have questions. If anything comes up while you're enrolling employees, just email me directly, and we'll get it answered. If it's a question you can't answer, we'll help do some more digging. And we can get back to the employee with that. But as always with the call center enrollments, we send you a list of appointments the night before. So in this case, starting on Sunday night, and then each night.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. So you guys, I believe there's 2 Spanish speakers. Have they already signed up, and do you have the Spanish enrollers for those 2?
I have one of them signed up.
One of them made an appointment. Yeah, we do have bilingual enrollers here as well, and yes, we are accounting for that. I had not checked yet, though, to see if they'd signed up. So one of the 2 have made an appointment.
Yes, and I'll be reaching out to everybody who has not signed up tomorrow morning, so I can hopefully gather even more.
Okay, great.
Excellent.
And then, I'm sorry if you mentioned this already. I think one of the reasons we wanted to enroll on this site as opposed to putting it on ADP was for the issue age. So maybe just make sure to highlight that as well.
Yeah, why it's a disconnected process instead of all being in
No. To highlight that the
critical illness
is issue age. Yeah.
All right.
So meaning the rate itself, once people sign up, if they're in a specific age bracket, when they sign up, as they age, and technically as they move into a new bracket, they're still paying their initial rate in the preliminary bracket. Their rate will never go up per unit of coverage.
Right. And the reason that it's not built out on ADP is because they could not manage that role.
You got it.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't think that part needs to be mentioned. Just
No, right.
Yeah.
Just that the rate doesn't change if they elect
Right.
now, as opposed, if it was the other kind of plan where it changes as they age.
Yeah. Like voluntary life, for
Yeah.
instance, that one, as they age into a new age band, their rate would go up at the policy anniversary.
Right. Okay, we can certainly highlight that. Any questions from the enrollment team? I know you guys are veterans.
Not at this time.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So I have recorded this session for future use for my team, so I'll send you guys the link out after this. And We will, as I mentioned before, send the appointments starting Sunday nights. And if you have any questions in the interim, just get with me directly on my cell phone, text, email. You guys know how to reach me.
Awesome. Scott, thanks so much for coordinating this. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.